Thanks for being here. I'm Claire Cooley. This is the Creativity Show. We're going to do all kinds of different creativity. We have been working on stencils. Here is a stenciled crane and evergreen kimono I did. That is one way we can use stencils, is in making our clothing into one-of-a-kind art to wear, expressing our style and creativity. Another way we can use stencils is note cards for any occasion. We can make prints. When Bodhi comes out of the video studio, we're going to hold this up so you can see it better. And Bodhi, my son, who's the technical part of this, I'm so grateful, asked me to work with him, named us Mother Son Productions. And his YouTube channel is Bodhi the Movie Maker. His Patreon place where his Northport 1999 sci-fi thriller spine horror novel goes out to his members exclusively with illustrations. So the YouTube channel that we use, the Creativity Show, has all of these videos. Once we're done with these virtual visit live streams, they go up there so you can see them anytime. Everything from restoring this grand old house, the Emerald Lady ourselves, to turning our more than 100-year-old carriage house into a studio. We can video, do art, even skate dance in, to putting stencil art on walls, friezes, platters, on art. So many floral designs. I've worked in almost every aspect of making a home, from furniture design and painting furniture, to making dishes, to painting sandblasted platters with stencils, to making house jewelry. Making jewelry. I love to make everything I can for myself. I love to find treasures. It's like a treasure hunt, going to used stores to find things like this kimono to turn into unique art to wear. The same with the home, finding things that I can artistically enhance to make them something that expresses our style and makes a comfortable, functional place to work and live. And it's fun to create. So we're going to get right into creating. I'm going to do some more painting in front of you like I did last live stream on Monday. I painted these 10 flower designs. I'll hold it up so Bodhi can get in on that. So this is actually going to go in a space, one of the few wall spaces left in the Emerald Lady that art can fill, in a closet I turned into the sewing room. So that's where this is going to go. So I cut the foam cord that they're attached to the shape that would fit in there, and then did these stencil flowers, which will make it very bright for a little closet. It actually has a window, so natural light, and so all this color and delicacy will make that space far more delightful to be doing sewing projects in. So that's what I like to do, and we're going to show you, we're just going to keep the creativity going and show you all kinds of different ways We can use our imaginations and creativity. And all of these stencils, one at a time, are coming out, available as SVGs, scalable vector graphics, that Bodhi makes so that you can, for about $3 a piece, purchase these designs on my web store, on Patreon. And soon we're going to start a Patreon membership for me, where you, as a member for a small fee, monthly membership fee, get all the stencils. So you can save lots of money by being a member. You'll have access to every stencil. Right now there's 9 out, but we're going to keep them coming. And I have over 300 designs. So you can imagine how much you could save at, there's Bodhi, at $3 a piece. You know, you could save a lot of money by just being a member and having access to all of them. When you download them to your computer, you can print them any size you like. I have videos on how to cut them with a razor blade, a hot knife, or a Cricut cutter if you have one, or want to tool up and get the great Cricut cutter, which I started with a razor blade. I even have a video of making stencils from paper, thick paper, and out of cutting it with scissors. So from the simplest to the Cricut cutter, I have videos up on the Creativity Show that show all of those possibilities. So let's just start by picking the closest one and painting it. Shall we? I think so. So I have some paints. I don't like to waste anything, so I have some paints left over from the last virtual visit that I will use to do this flower. And then I will mix some new paints. I have this paint strip that has all my colors and a number, so that it's easy for me to pick the color I want and go over to the container, which you can't necessarily tell the color of the paint from the outside of the container, so that makes it quicker. So this needs a little more green. I like to use these metal chopsticks to get some pigment so that I don't get more than I need, and so I don't waste. And I like to do my best not to waste anything. And I have a life philosophy of use what you have available that's healthy, and to be inspiration for your creativity. So I like, and as we go through the Emerald Lady, we will show you how I've used.
Turn over here. She's got a piece of lint here. I'm getting it off of. We got lint fuzz. There we go.
Thank you.
It's hard to get it out.
Did you get it?
I did.
Thank you. We are Mother-Son Productions, which means we have a mother and a son, and that's it. So we're the whole production crew is 2. And so he just was my fluffer. We all need help, especially me. Okay, so are we ready for a little painting? Yeah. So I'm doing the stems, and then I'll do the flowers. Okay. And I use, oops, I'm going to take my kimono off because we don't want that to happen again. So there you go. You see that. I use these little teacup inside of this little bit larger so that these brushes do not fall out and splatter paint anywhere. And besides, I don't have to clean it up if I don't splatter it. It also means I don't waste, which makes me feel really good not to waste. And so one of my policies, which is why I have so many clothes that are stenciled to show you what we can do with the stencils, but before social distancing, I used to, if there was parking, stop at the used store on the way by to do whatever errands, duties I had to do. And if I could find something like these, the kimonos, or so many, I like natural fibers, fabrics. I can sew and paint and mend and all of that, so I can avail myself of many different treasures at used stores because I can adjust the clothes as needed if I choose. So I have, over the years, found a lot of beautiful fabric clothes that I get to stencil during these virtual visit live streams and show some of the things that we can do with stencils. I started by, and there's a video about that, with a beautiful suede coat that had stains on it in a thrift store that I thought, well, I can do something creative to cover those stains. There we go. That's got some loveliness to it, if I don't mind saying, and I didn't mind saying it at all. I think it's important to appreciate our own efforts whenever possible. We live in a very critical world. Lot of criticism. As a creativity coach since my 20s, when people asked me to teach, I've heard a lot of stories over the years of people being closed down by something critical someone else said about their creative expression or idea. And you just have to let that stuff pass through your open heart. Just move on to take in the beautiful, shoring up instead of tearing down things people can and will say if we let them. And let the things that don't help us just pass by like a bad smell. So here we're going. We added a little white to that pink and made it lighter for some variety. Now we're going to do something similar to that, to this kind of Kelly green. And we get to just keep the fun going by, there's my white, mixing as we go. So what I'm going to do with this green is put a little bit in this guy, because we don't need much, and add a little white to it. And make a new color. So creativity happens in a very vulnerable place where we feel, where we are very sensitive, where we are open and unguarded. That's where, imagination, and that's why children are usually better at playing and imagining freely, because they're still open and hopefully uncriticized and supported in exploring their own creativity. But that place, we all have it, no matter how old we get, no matter what experiences we've been through. That place does not go away. It does get covered over by shields of trying to protect ourselves from the hurt that other people can heap on us. What? Okay, so turn them this way. Oh, there you go. Okay, does it show now? So let's put them both where you can see them. So there's 1 and 2. And now we're going to get this guy. And now I'm going to add some of this kind of amber and see what happens there. So that tender, open, vulnerable place where our imagination and creativity, we could call it our spirit, resides. It's a very sensitive and beautiful place. And many people, the older they get, the more they've protected themselves from cruelty or indifference that the world can have in it. People can be jealous, mean, hurt, angry, cruel. So we learn to protect ourselves and shield our tenderness, but we need to be able to unearth our buried treasure of our own imaginations, and to access our creativity, we need to value it and give it a safe place to be. And I'm going to add some yellow to that green. So my suggestion is let anyone that has an agenda that, other than helping us, shoring us up, to believe in ourselves, to trust ourselves, to have fun with our own creativity, to solve problems with it, to heal ourselves by knowing ourselves and our feelings, by expressing our feelings and stimulating our immune system. Anyone who doesn't respect that or treat it with the proper respect, love them at a distance. Don't hate them, because that takes your energy. And creating, living, dealing with life takes energy. So let us save our energy for precious and important things, fun and fulfilling things like being creative and sharing our creativity, by protecting ourselves from those who have, you know, been hurt themselves and not healed it, not found the courage to express themselves. They can be jealous and unsupportive. So we need to protect ourselves by stepping away from that. Does that show? Okay. And keep those who are loving, who can be loving toward us, close, and move away from those who have forfeited their gentleness. And forgive them, but don't let them hurt you. And if we stay angry at them, they're still hurting us. So I want this to be a very light pink. So I need a new container. Almost white is what I see for this calla lily. And if someone can be a champion of our tenderness, I like that, then they get to come close. And there is beautiful criticism. There is beautiful, constructive, loving criticism. And I am so blessed that I had a mother who was classically trained, and I'm very self-taught. And she was my champion. You have your own way, dear. You figure it out. You don't, the techniques, you just have to unlearn the rules if you learn them, because you have your own way. You stop when it's done. And she always listened to me like what I said was worth listening to. I wish everyone had that in someone in their life, especially during their growing up time, because it gives you a self-respect, a confidence in your own worthiness. And if you don't have it in your close family, keep looking till you find it. There's definitely somebody, if you keep going, don't settle for less. You'll find someone who listens to you like what you say matters. And it does matter. We all have unique, beautiful, authentic perspectives, knowledge. No one knows precisely what we know. No one is us. No one has had our experiences. So I'm having trouble getting this light enough, but I'm not a quitter. So I'm going to keep going. Ooh, I don't want to put pink in the white. Don't want to do that. So now I have to scrape as much off with the brush, wipe the little bit off with the paper towel, and get a nice chunk of white. That ought to do it. So treasure the person or persons, if you're really lucky. You have a few, and that are your champion that just want you to keep growing, getting better, more confident, more satisfied by what you do. Appreciate them, keep them close, take them in. Open your heart and mind to what they share with you because they are on your side. And then the many people in this world full of fear and competitiveness that don't necessarily have a clear heart and mind, those people who don't necessarily have your best interest at heart, you can listen to them, but don't take it in if it's not from love. And most important for the creative process, for creating, is loving ourselves. Boy, this brush has got a real beat to it. It's a noisy little brush. Wow. Okay, now we're going to add some of this golden to the green, or some of the green to the golden. Let's see, this way. Well, I'd say that we're going to mute it down in here. So creating a safe place to create. That's our challenge, duty. And, think of yourself as your own child. What does a child need to feel free to draw, tell a story, dance, make music, make up a fantasy game? What they need is to feel safe and appreciated. So we are our own children. We can be the guardian of our own innocence, curiosity. We can give ourselves a safe place to explore our curiosity and inspiration. And that's what it takes to keep creating, is just allowing ourselves to explore. How's that? Okay. We're having fun now. It's always an adventure. Creativity is always a trip that we cannot know the destination. It's always a journey into our own unknown. Okay, so we're going to go for some real yellow. For this guy. This New thing I started this last virtual visit on Monday, and I'm going to keep it going every Monday and Thursday at noon Central Time. I'm going to be creating in front of the camera, but I just started the creating in front of the camera on Monday, New Year's Day, and it's exciting and a little intimidating, but I like to keep challenging myself to keep expanding what I'm comfortable to do and learn and share. So I like that it's kind of scary to be talking and working. I'm used to working in silence, but it's worth the facing my fear about doing that to get more comfortable with sharing it. It's liberating to face our fears. We're a little lighter. If we let one go, we're a little lighter as we pass through life doing what we do. We're carrying one less fear and have a little more lightness of being free of that fear. Face it and move on to face the next one. There's always going to be more. That's the human journey. But staying attached to them, they can get very, ooh, that's got some vibrance. They can get very set. Is that one? Yep, you can see it. All right. Whoa. See, that's why I use them in the cups. However, I've got so many different colors going now that I don't have enough cups, but we'll work with it. Okay, so I'm in the need of some lavender now. I need some lavender. You ever have a need for lavender? Of course you do. Everybody does, right? So we'll on Monday, New Year's Day, when I did this for the first time, talk and work at the same time, I thought I was going to do one, and I ended up doing 10 because I just got in the flow and got past my nervousness. My nervousness about doing it and just did it. And that is one of the beautiful things about creativity is we get past our resistance and step into our wonder, our childlike enthusiasm, and pretty soon we're just going. And stepping into that flow, as I've said on many of these live virtual visits, is medically documented, scientifically proven to help our happiness. When we step into the flow. Here's the loud brush. This stippling technique of up and down instead of brushing puts a little air, a little variety texture in the paint that comes through the acetate. I told a friend the wrong name for this the other day. I hope they're listening. It's acetate that these stencils are cut out of. And so mixing the colors instead of taking them straight out of the containers is always has a little variety in the pigment. Besides that, it's a little unpredictable, so it makes it a lovely surprise to see what happens. And for me, it makes it feel more like nature, because nature has this ordered chaos, this organized chaos, this harmony of including every different color. And so we're gonna need some red now. That's what we need. So we're going to go for some and we have so because I am using all of my stencil brushes to do these all at the same time, that one had a little green on it. Now it and I used it in the yellow teacup. But this is, like I said, I like the surprises of letting go of control and going with what you have. Even, okay, this brush had a little green in it. This cup had a little yellow in it, even though I'm wanting red. It just makes it a surprising red. And I like that. I like being surprised on the adventure of creativity and unfolding before our very eyes. It's kind of magic. I fell in love with drawing when, on the 9th day of working with a pencil, this gorilla looked back at me, and I'm like, well, this is magic. And I could be exploring this for the rest of my life. And I fell in love with it. And then I said, well, if you're going to be an artist as more than just fun in between things, but that's the way your life, that's your purpose, that's your work, your mission. You have to commit. So I drew every day for 5 years after that experience to demonstrate to myself that I could commit. And now, I've been enjoying creativity all my life because it gave me peace to get through hard times. It gave me solutions to problems. A way to enhance my life with limited funds. Guess we better start putting them on the other table, huh? Can you? We got one more. So I'm going to move some of these. And what do I want to? Can you see that one? Yep. Yes, you can see it. Okay. Now, we're going to go for blue because we haven't yet. And there we go. That's a good enough reason. And this was a blue I had left over from Monday, so here we go. For me, I like to have a feeling that is my North Star for any creative project that I align with. And then I like to go on the adventure of see where it wants me to go, where the composition and the colors and the materials take me. So it's an adventure. Like mixing purple in that green. This is really a very unusual green purple. We're going to show you one other today way I've used these stencils, these flower forms, in what I call the underground gallery, which is really our cellar. That when we got the house, wow, that's interesting, I have to say. Okay, so there we go. You want to come out and get this. Well, before we show you these close up, let's go to the showing the underground gallery, what we did with our cellar, using stencils to hide unsightly pipes and funky walls down there and turn it into a beautiful space. You want to show the, oh, there we go. Did it go all the way into the framing room? I'm setting out the prints, not really looking. Great. So you can see how I use these stencils, that's the warblers and wallflowers, to and here's where I made floor-to-ceiling panels to cover, actually that's our recording booth. And the framing studio there. So I like to make every space is an excuse for creativity. All right. There's our recording booth. We made ourselves, obviously. And I like to use what I have first. So those fabrics that we used, this is another use of these stencils. Those fabrics were, from curtains in our last home that got turned into recording booth sound dampening. So what is that ringing?
That is the ambient music.
Ah, okay. So do you want to say anything about this and then come out and show close-up of these prints?
I'll come out and show the close-up.
Okay. I'll put my... Can you see them here? Do I need to move this? Should I move that?
I can just, move the camera.
All right.
Kind of cool how that works.
That is so fancy. Bodhi and I have very complementary skills and confidence. I'm very confident about working with my hands, whether it's clay or paper or paints or wood or glass, envisioning how to transform an outfit or a space. And he's very confident he can learn anything we need for our content creating technologically. And we're a great team. It takes a team. And I'm very grateful that he wanted to work with me. My mother and I were very collaborative and compassionately creative collaborators. And Bodhi and I have created a very peacefully, playfully productive life here that we love sharing with you, hoping it inspires you to use your imagination to heal yourself, enhance your life, and help others, including the planet. We walk lighter on the planet the more we create instead of consume, the more settled we are, the more we can be at peace with our own imaginations instead of running around and polluting the environment with driving and flying. And the more settled we can be, the more time we can spend being happy to just create. The lighter we walk on the planet, the better for the environment and the better for us. So that's that. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I think you did a great job.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here. And if you enjoyed it, tell a friend and come back on Monday. Every Monday, Thursday at noon. I'm going to just keep creating in front of you and hoping it inspires you. Thanks so much.